Welcome to episode 7 of Evermore Digital's Vendor Spotlight, bringing you the very best in insurance technology. Not wanting to overload you with all this InsurTech goodness, we're now going to be running this every Tuesday morning at 9:15 a.m. So please subscribe to make sure you don't miss it. And our guest today is well known on the InsurTech scene. He's got more waistcoats than Gareth Southgate. Coming via RDT and IBA, he's now upgraded to a 4-letter acronym at OWIT. More polished and prepped than a walnut antique bureau, he is the micro man with the microservices, Elliott Green. Elliott, welcome.
Thank you very much for having me, Ed. I'm going to keep using the micro man with microservices. That's going to be my slogan now going ahead, so thank you very much for that.
You're welcome. I'll have a commission on it. And what in the blue hell are you wearing? We're not at the Crucible, Elliott.
So this is my beautiful latest blazer I've been saving for InsurTech London, but it doesn't look like it's going to happen now, so I've brought it out for this very occasion. It's a red flowery number, and I'm absolutely loving me in it.
Brilliant. Well, I look forward to seeing you score a record break later on. But as always, today we're going to have 5 killer questions on your InsurTech offering, followed by a randomly generated quickfire round. But first, tell us a bit about yourself and your journey into insurance.
So I think similar to many people that you've had on the show, I fell insurance on purpose. No, of course not, but completely by accident. Started working at my local broker straight out of college. Really enjoyed it, selling people policies over the phone. Carried on working there for 7 years in a load of different parts of the company. And then when I got fed up with that, I decided that I could take that insurance knowledge and take it over to the tech side. Started working for a tech company that sold their technology to insurers. Been pretty successful at that over the last few years. And I've ended up at the wonderful company that is OWIT Global, now selling our microservices. So yeah, that's me in a nutshell.
Brilliant. So without further ado, on to those 5 killer questions. Let's get it on. Number 1, what do you do and how does it help brokers and MGAs?
So OWIT Global is a microservices company, which basically means we sell very small components that solve a specific problem. We combine these together to make specific insurance-based solutions, of which we've got at the moment a user experience solution, which covers B2B and B2C portals, a bordereau management tool, which also does delegated authority management, document services, rating and rules engine. So a few different ones, and we're always combining these services to make different solutions for different customers. So we're very flexible. We're usually not going to replace your whole architecture. We're just going to enhance it and bring something different to the place. So we can be very flexible with our customers. We can also, because we've got a very powerful configuration tool, we can implement quickly and work around the customer. So it's kind of a very flexible and modern. We're a very new company, modern offering to the insurance market.
Brilliant. Of that offering, what's the element of it that you're most proud of?
So for me personally, the configuration tool that I just kind of mentioned to you there, so it's all drag and drop, no code. Customers can do it themselves, which I know you're a big fan of customers doing their own configuration. But I mean, I've used this tool. It is very much, I know everyone says, oh, they've got a great configuration, so no code's needed, all that. It is really, you just drag and drop stuff on the screen and then you put some details into it. So me, even as a sales guy, I've used this thing. It works. It's very easy, and it means, as I said before, we can implement very quickly for customers. We can change at speed. It really gives them a degree of flexibility I haven't seen on any of the other platforms I've ever worked.
Good. And what's the biggest success story you've had within your business?
Well, so for me personally, and that's how I've kind of taken this question, I've only been here a couple of months, but I think going back to what I was saying about the configuration toolkit, I've actually configured a portal, or B2C portal myself. And you know me, Ed, I'm not the sharpest tool, but I've managed to do an end-to-end portal kind of quote and buy journey myself, configuring it with very little help elsewhere. And I think that's really the power of our microservices. And as part of that, I've really got a much more of a deep dive insight into, okay, what is microservices architecture? Because I didn't really know before I came to OWIT Global, and what are the benefits of it? And then taking on that knowledge to go, when I'm speaking to insurers, these are all the benefits that you didn't know about microservice that you will get, especially if you use OWIT technology. So it's been kind of my journey, I guess, so far. And working with the technology has been my biggest success story in the couple of months that I've been here.
Great. What does the typical customer or the customer profile look like for OWIT?
So for us, as I've said, because we're so flexible, we'll take all comers, anyone and everyone. I mean, ideally, people with really deep pockets who want to buy everything from us, I'll happily go to one of those. That's perfect. But ultimately, you know, you could be a very small broker, you could be a tier one insurer. We'll happily be able to provide you something at the right price, at the right speed, with the right amount of flexibility, because it is this modern technology that we can really do so much with.
Great. And what's the biggest weakness of your offering? That dreaded interview question.
So this one's been keeping me up at night, if I'm honest. You know,
Good.
like, what are you
Good.
saying?
That's the
What do you
idea of
say
it.
in an interview when this kind of thing happens to you? I always go, I'm too dedicated, so I work too many hours. It's really difficult. It upsets my family in the job interview. But does anyone really believe that? I think from my point of view, we can configure whatever we want. So there's no weaknesses as such in the architecture. If we haven't got something, we'll put it together in a few days and we'll be able to show it to you after a few days of configuration. The one thing we are looking at the moment that's on our roadmap is integrating and using more modern technologies, more of your RPAs, your AIs, and machine learning. Those are the three specific things that we're actually looking to now incorporate in our architecture, which we don't have at the moment. I wouldn't necessarily call that a weakness, but something we're looking to do on the roadmap, basically. Yeah.
Everyone has weaknesses, and it's good that people are aware of them, you know, and that you're aware of them, because it shows that you've got a plan to fix them. So, you know, it's always a positive that there's areas you can work into. So we're going to move on to the quick fire round. 10 questions, instinctive answers. Notice I dropped the word random from the quick fire round. But we'll get started on that. So what's your favorite business related book?
So I'm reading a book at the moment called Simple Things. It's really about, it's supposed to be one answer, is it? So Simple Things is the book I read. It's about making your life simple.
Excellent. InsurTech with or without an E?
Definitely without an E. People who are using an E are not people that I want to subscribe to.
Wow, that's a really strong answer. Excellent. I like it. Takeaway of choice, and I want you to go full Smithy on here. I want the full order.
Well, so this isn't going to be a quick answer either, unfortunately. I mean, we're going sweet and sour chicken balls. You've got to have prawn crackers dipping in the chicken balls. You've got to have some special fried rice underneath the chicken balls. Hold the sweet and sour on top. Then you're scooping with the prawn cracker. And then just as like a little aside or a starter, chicken satay skewers. I really enjoy those. I know you're a fan of them. They're the kind of side dish stroke starter to go with that. But that's my order in a nutshell. In a walnut,
we need a business lunch soon. That sounds like to me.
A few courses. Let's just make it a few courses. Maybe duck cam pancakes on the front of that.
Oh, this is making me way too hungry. Yeah. Thankfully for people, they're going to be watching this at 9:15 in the morning, so hopefully they're not going to get rumbling tummies at lunchtime. Who's your favourite other InsurTech?
So I'm going to answer with two on this one, just to be awkward, but Proficico, who are doing some flood stuff. They've got a specific flood algorithm that they work with. I really like those guys. I'm a real big fan. Also, in the most recent UK ITC kind of demo day thing that they did, I voted for Bequest, who are doing stuff around life insurance. I just really thought the pitch was great. What they seem to be changing in life insurance was wonderful. And they're going on to do the kind of Vegas online bit for the UK now. So I wish them all the best.
Bro, best comedy movie of all time?
Oh, Will Ferrell's a god in my eyes, and I'd have to go Anchorman. The first one, not the second one, which was rubbish.
Well, you do look like you're made of rich mahogany, so absolutely, I can see why you'd like it.
That's inspired by that film.
greatest footballer of all time.
Right, so for me here, this is probably going to be an unpopular choice, but I don't really subscribe to your modern day footballers where they're, you know, sleeping in an oxygen chamber and they've got all of these strapping on them all the time. I'm much more of an old school, so I got to go with my English roots. Paul Gascoigne, that goal at Wembley's unbelievable. He's turned up to training in half cut. You know, the guy's an absolute legend. So talented a footballer. Probably could have done a load more in this era, but just for the sake of 1996 Euro, when I fell in love with football, that is the guy that I'd pick.
I think a lot of us fell in love with football at Euro 96. It was a really, really great event. And yeah, 3 Lions, what a tune. Number 7, this one, no one's had this before. Can you believe this as a random question that we would ask favourite male grooming product of you?
Right, so I've got a lot. So I'm going to do the short answer of this, okay? So if I had to go number 1, anti-shine moisturizer from Bulldog. I swear by it. I get real shiny on camera, so I try and non-shine the face, and that's my go-to.
I might need to borrow some of that with the lights that I've got on me at the moment.
Yeah, maybe less lights on the forehead.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, this is not a forehead, Elliot. This is at least a 6 head. Come on. Favorite other InsurTecher?
So obviously, it's yourself, Ed. But if I wasn't going to choose you,
obviously,
because we're on the show here, I should go more broad.
Yes.
The favourite people that I kind of follow on Twitter, listen to, think they're always saying something of value. James York, Nigel Walsh, really insightful, really good guys.
Brilliant. We're going to have James on the show shortly, so look forward to that one. Your most visited website, excluding social media?
So I feel like this is your dodgiest question.
It is, absolutely.
I always laugh when I'm watching it back, but for me, Sky Sports. I'm always on Sky Sports. If it's not football, rugby, boxing, whatever, I always want to see what's going on in the sports world, so I'm always on the Sky Sports website.
Brilliant. And final question, as I said, I'm going to keep this in for everyone now because I really like this one. So who would play you in the story of your life? So
this is me. Tom Cruise, right? The only guy short enough and good looking enough to play me is what I'm going for. Whether you agree with that or not is up to you.
I mean, you were half right. You were half right, absolutely.
Maybe just the short part, yeah.
Well, Elliot, thank you so much for coming on the show and telling us about OWIT Global. Please make sure to visit owitglobal.com, which is under Elliott's picture now, to find out about microservices developed by insurance people for insurance people. If you enjoyed today's vendor spotlight, make sure to subscribe to evermoredigital.com as we bring you the latest in insurance technology news, views and reviews. Please add your comments, like, subscribe to the channel, share to your boss, share to your mistress, share with whichever psychopath tailored that monstrosity of a waistcoat. But for now, sadly, it's goodbye from Elliot at OWIT.
Goodbye from me.
And it's goodbye from me.